Hello, yes, and welcome to another episode, I suppose, of Lichfield and Tamworth Chamber in Focus, as we're calling it. It's great to be joined by Simon Price at Arthur Price in Lichfield. Simon, how are you?
Very good, considering. Very good.
Yes, good. Yeah, just a bit of a sort of background to these video sort of interviews. You know, I head up the Chamber in Lichfield and Tamworth. My name's Chris Brewerton, for those of you who don't know. Obviously, the Chamber in Lichfield and in Tamworth has been a long-standing establishment and membership group, and in the current climate, it's great to be able to interview some of our other long-standing members. In this case, Arthur Price, cutlery, dining ware, and many other things in between. Supplier across the UK, but hugely well known in Lichfield, and Simon is with me here today. So, Simon, just wanted to start really by saying, well done or congratulations on getting the shop sort of reopened and getting restarted. I suppose this call is very much around how you've coped, how your business has changed, and where you see things moving forward. So yeah, just start from the beginning really. Tell me a bit about the effect COVID-19 had on your business during lockdown, and how your business has perhaps changed somewhat to cope with the crisis and come out the other side in a good position.
Okay. Well, we reacted really quickly. Really, I could see demand fall very, very, very quickly in that second week of March. Actually,
yeah,
you could see it happening, and you were just waiting for those next Boris Johnson updates, which was a bit weird. I don't think I've seen one since, but anyway, there you go. And on the 26th of March, it was exactly the 26th of March, we basically said, right, everybody bar 5, you're going to have to go home, guys.
Yeah.
For two reasons, really. One is clearly the demand, but also, you have to think about people's health and safety very, very carefully. And there was a lot of, fear at that time. So we furloughed everybody bar 5. The concession shop shut anyway, so a lot of it was already done for us. We shut our factory down, literally shut it down.
Yeah,
working at all. And we, the 5 of us, decided to see what we could, get out while. So I donned them. That's the first time I've worn trousers since the 26th of March, just for you, Chris. Literally coming in, wearing shorts, doing what you can, and that's exactly what we've been doing. It's an interesting time because I think a lot of people don't realise the mental upset that a lot of people are having. And it's very hard to clearly ring everybody, to talk to everybody. Yeah. But I mean, I've spoken to a number of people over the last week or two, and a lot of people are really, really suffered. They feel isolated, terrible fear of not coming back. Will I ever come back? Yeah. All those things. Everybody reacts very, very differently. So we're doing our best to overcome that. We try and communicate as best we can. I think people over-communicate. And when you over-communicate, people don't read. Yeah. So I think, accurate. And the other thing, Chris, probably the most important thing I've learned through this is honesty. Yeah. Absolutely honesty with everybody who's working with you, and fairness. Yeah. So, for example, those people who got furloughed, those people who didn't get furloughed were paid the same as if they were getting furloughed. So there was no resentment. People were not, got the old golden egg and thinking, aren't they lucky? They're still pulling their, getting their fat check while everybody else isn't. We didn't do any of that. No. We were absolutely fair from the word go, and continue to be as we speak right now, 6 months later. Yeah. And you mentioned,
you'd mentioned about sort of changing and putting your shorts on and getting sort of your hands dirty in the warehouse. And I'd seen yourself and James, your son, were really getting involved in that. I suppose that's sort of reactivated your passion for your product and your business.
Yeah, I mean, I've lost a stone. Not to say I was fat in the first place, but I certainly needed to lose a stone. Yeah. But I have actually lost a stone. I probably feel fitter than I've ever done in my life, really. And my dog just don't give me a walk again. But no, you're right. And that's the key of a family company, really. You can react, you can be nimble, you can be quick, and you can get stuck in. And it's a team. It's not about me, it's not about James. It's about the whole company coming back as a team.
Yeah.
And we had our first management meeting last Wednesday for the first time since lockdown for obvious reasons. You don't want to get everybody in a room, but we were very sensible, got them all together and said, we're in this together.
Yeah.
We want this ship to float, and I'd rather, if it's possible, to have everybody in this room in the boat at the time of its resailing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
People in that room are still frightened. They're frightened.
Yeah.
People are really, really frightened of not just the terrible pandemic itself, but also their own futures. There's no positive news coming out anywhere.
No, it's a real tough time, isn't it? And you mentioned, having that honesty with your staff and that relationship with your staff is so important, and now more important than ever. So you'd mentioned obviously the business and the factory shop was closed, but obviously that's led to perhaps more of an online offering that you've had to take up.
Well, the factory shop, as you know, Chris, the factory shop is unique. It's the only one of its type. And actually, bizarrely, a lot of people were really wanting it to reopen. I think people get bored after a bit. Let's be honest. After April, and a number of all the gnomes being painted and all the fences being done and the suntan topped up, it starts to get a bit boring. So people do want a little bit of go out and treat themselves. Yeah. And we've only opened for 3, as you know, so 18 hours a week. It's changed this week as far as days because of the bank holiday. And it's done incredibly well. In fact, of the if you think about it, we're probably doing about 75% of what we were doing this time last year.
Wow.
So that's been very, very good. The other thing, which I suppose is naturally changed, is the only way to market at the moment is direct to the consumer. Yeah. It's less so now as the shops reopen, but for 2.5, 3 months, the only way you could actually get products to people would deliver it to their home. Yeah. Not something that we were really that keen on doing, to be fair. No. I've heard that somebody else has that hassle. How can you imagine? We've been doing a lot of that, a lot of direct shipping. So we're working obviously with the internet, a lot of the internet companies, some of which are bricks and mortar as well, and obviously our own site, which is probably just over double this time last year. Wow, yeah. So you've seen that, and having that in place, albeit not as used as much previously, as I'm sure helped, as you say, to create that traffic and create that. Absolutely. I mean, we our internet site is not a discount site by any means, because it's a catalogue to the world. So, and we don't want to go into that place, but even then, people have come and supported us, which has been great. So it's been funny. It's been fun on the one side. It's been frightening on the other. And it is sometimes managing expectations. It's really tough. Really tough. And some advice around that. You'd mentioned obviously, things have changed a little bit for your business from how you ship your products. Advice to other businesses that are going through the same thing. What's been the main sort of successful area that you can sort of give advice around? Well, we haven't changed. We're lucky. We service, as you rightly said, the intro, a number of different outlets. So we do online, we do catering. Clearly, the cliff's fallen off on catering right now. Most hotels really haven't opened. No. Restaurants, ditto, same thing. So we've been in our department stores been good. Exports been strong in some places. So, for example, at least ironically, retailing has actually picked up better now than it was before. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. So I think you've got to have a lot of irons in the fire. We've got agents still out there. We've got a lot of people doing their best. And as I said to you earlier, you've just got to care and understand, really. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned about the support side. Obviously, we were talking just before we press record about the your Facebook post and the emotional and sort of passion you have for your business, and a extremely long-standing brand. The support you've had from current customers, the local business community, how has that helped you through as a business through the crisis? Well, you might not like this one, but I think the business. Let's just split that into two. I think the support from loyal factory shop customers has been great. There's no doubt about that. The support on our own site has been great. Lichfield businesses, no, not really. Not at all, really. Zilch. Bar 2. 3. You. Yeah, that's good. No, you have. And with fairness, you sent a lot of nice newsletters out, which have been good and helpful, and given advice, which will have been appreciated by, I suspect, a lot of your smaller members and some of your bigger members. because they have no idea what's coming next. And to have
Yeah.
you guys writing and trying to give them some advice, what to do, what not to do, is, I'm sure, been hugely helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
With fairness, the best of Lichfield's been fantastic. You probably know Louis Clegg.
Yes, yeah, brilliant.
He's made contact and said, "Is there anything I can do?" And we you know, a long-standing friend of mine, Richard Winston, and you probably know Richard.
Yes,
you know, he's been great,
yeah.
and we're constantly working on how to help each other.
Yeah.
Apart from that, zilch.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's 3 good starts, though. 3 good points. We'll take that. We'll take that.
You know me, because I'm always going to tell you the truth.
No, that's great. No, I appreciate that. And I think, as you say, there are organisations that can and do help businesses, and having some of your stories about how you've reopened and some of the work that you've done, through your press team has been a good sort of story that we can cover, and a good good point of reference for yourselves as well. Just moving and sort of looking forward to the next 3 to 6 months. Tell us where you see things, if you've got your crystal ball out. I know it's tough, but
well, exactly that. This is like the real, again, honest truth is I have absolutely no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas will come. Christmas will happen.
Yeah,
that is good for us because that's our type of products. So as timing wise is concerned, it's probably not a bad timing issue for us as a business. Fun enough, I'm just starting to put forecasts together for October to September next year, and trying to work out where your sales are going to be, and therefore what percentage of your workforce you will need in. It's very, very, very difficult. I can't see anything like normality coming until spring next year.
No, I think that's. Yeah, I think the UK wide,
but it's better than not doing anything.
Yeah, things are starting to move, aren't they? And as you say, it's interesting to hear some of the export markets and those worldwide sort of partners and links you have served you well, and hopefully will continue to do that. So no, that's great. I appreciate that, Simon. And I think just to finish, I was really keen to pick up on your your experience of many years, if you don't mind me saying that, as a business owner. What's the last sort of final piece of advice you give to local businesses, or indeed any business watching this here, as to how you've come through the crisis and have continued to trade as well as you've been able to?
To answer that question, it's very simple, I think, Chris, and probably the same for you. Everybody is in this together. Yeah, I'm not on my own here. It's not my fault. Which is unusual, because normally it's no business owner's fault that they find themselves in this situation. They could never have planned for this. Nobody's planned for this. Government hasn't planned for it, never mind individual businesses. And I think you've got to literally hold hands with all your colleagues. And most people understand that. Nobody's going to turn around and say, no, it's not my job. It's going to be a very different enterprise going forward. It'll be a slimmer, nimbler enterprise going forward. But if everybody pulls together, which they are doing, then we'll do it. And that will apply to most businesses, I suspect.
Absolutely.
It's all for one. It's a bit of the old Musketeers.
Yeah, we'll take that. Great way to finish. No, thank you, Simon, and again, good luck with the change of the way you're conducting your business to a degree, and the great the great efforts that you're making to continue what is a hugely well-known brand in not only Lichfield but across the UK. And we look forward to perhaps doing one of these again in 6 months' time, after you've enjoyed your Christmas uptake, and as you say, things are back to perhaps how they were in one way or another as we go into March next year. Simon, absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye-bye.